So progression for our isometric hold for our hip flexors. So again, I'm going to begin with my left knee into my left hand. These two limbs are creating an energy pressing into each other. It's helping me to find my neutral across my pelvis. I'm going to inhale here, exhale to bring the other leg up. And now I'm going to prepare to reach that right leg long. So as I exhale and send that leg long, I want to make sure that I don't lose my neutral connection here. If you feel like your back starts to arch and you're not able to reach that leg fully out without losing neutral, then I want you just to extend that leg as far as you can to maintain neutral. And as you get stronger, you can reach that leg out further. Another modification is to reach the leg up higher towards the ceiling. That's going to help you be able to create a little bit more support here. As you get stronger, that leg can lower further down to the floor for an additional challenge. So again, we keep this connection here of our hand and our knee into each other the whole time. As we exhale, reach that moving leg away, and then inhale to bring it back in with control. An additional progression for our hip flexor and quadruped here will be to take our grounded knee and actually float it an inch or two off of the ground while we drive our resisted leg in and out from our chest. So we're going to begin here. Inhale to prepare, exhale, I press up, so I'm starting with that knee floating off the ground. I'm going to inhale here, exhale to pull and drive that right knee into my chest, making sure that I'm not rounding or arching my spine in the process, and then slowly reach that leg back out with control. I continue to hover for as long as I can while I drive that knee in. If you need to take a break in between each rep as you build up your strength, that's also an acceptable modification. For our next progression of our standing resisted hip flexion, I'm going to show you first how to anchor the band, and then I'll demonstrate the exercise. So I have my resistance band anchored around a secure object. This can be a kettlebell or a piece of furniture or something that's not going to move. I've stepped inside of my band and then pull that band, create it across an additional loop to place around your arch. This will create an X over your ankle and keep that band from wiggling around while you're moving. I'm going to come up to standing here. And I'm beginning with my 2 feet close together. This is going to be my moving leg. My left leg is going to be my stationary leg. I'm going to be driving my right leg up towards my chest while I drive and stand tall through my stationary leg, which is very similar to our running mechanics. So as I stand here, I want to make sure that my pelvis doesn't tuck under, that it also doesn't arch, and that I also don't lose height as I drive that leg all the way up. So I'm going to begin here with my hands over my pelvis so I can check in, and also making sure that there's no rotation in this process, because it's very natural for the resisted side hip to want to get pulled behind me if my hip flexor is not activating equally against the glute on my left side. So I'm going to inhale tall, exhale, driving that leg up. I'm using my arms to simulate running because my left arm in this case would be swinging forward while my right one swings back. I want you to really drive through this pocket to send that leg forward against the resistance band, and really think about your left heel to activate your left glute, driving into the floor to keep you tall and to create that nice parallel pelvis so that it doesn't twist and rotate, okay? So you're inhaling here at the top, exhale to slowly lower it back down to the floor with control. So again, I inhale here, exhale, drive up, hold for a moment or two, and then slowly release that band back. In the beginning, if this is too challenging for balance, feel free to place a chair, a countertop, or a tall foam roller that you can place your hands on for some support while you exhale, get that organization more fluid, and then over time you can work away from needing that extra upper body support. Working on that end range hip flexion drive is really important for our running mechanics, and a space that we often don't strengthen very much, but is really necessary for smoothing out our running mechanics and optimizing our hip flexor performance. So what I often recommend is something that requires absolutely no equipment whatsoever, but is a really great balance challenge as well as a hip flexor challenge too. So freestanding, you're going to take one leg, and I want you to pull that knee all the way up into your chest as high as you possibly can. I want you to flex that foot, and then you're going to hold here Really drive into your standing leg so you feel that glute. And then I want you to hold that leg there and start to take your hands away and trying to keep that knee up as high as you were able to pull it in towards your chest using your upper body. So holding that there, counting to 10 as you stand and hold, continuing to breathe and really feeling how that activates that hip flexor right there in the crease. You'll be surprised at how quickly this actually fatigues, and you can see me kind of shaking and wobbling, because it's a balance challenge, but also for my hip flexor too. So after those 10 seconds, lower that leg down, rest for a moment, and then repeat. If you need to, you can also place a chair or line up against a wall for some balance support if you need that. You can then pull that leg in, hold here, keep using the wall for assistance as you need, take that hand off and really try to hold and drive that knee all the way up into your chest while your opposite glute and heel drive equally into the floor.